Well, good morning 2H. So today we are continuing our investigation of arrays. What we will look at today is a special property that arrays have when we are thinking about addition or multiplication. So you're ready for a huge word, a huge new piece of mathematical vocabulary. You ready? They have a commutative property. Commutative? I bet you've never heard of that before. What does it mean? Well, let me tell you. It means you can switch the numbers around and get the same answer. So if you look down here, 5 multiplied by 2 is 10, but also 2 multiplied by 5 is 10. They give you the same answer. If you think back to number bonds, addition bonds, where we say 6 plus 4 equals 10 and 4 plus 6 equals 10, it's the same thing. The order of the numbers don't impact the answer. We can't do this with subtraction or division because the placement of the numbers in those sentences impact the answer. So the word commutative is an important word, an important maths term, and the property is only found in addition and multiplication sentences. So what this means is when we are investigating arrays are commutative, and no matter which order you put the numbers in, we will get the same answer. So let's look at these numbers again. Look down here. 5 multiplied by 2 equals 10. Can you imagine that array? We know the first number refers to the columns, or rows, sorry. The first number refers to the rows. So you'd have 5 rows. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. And the second number refers to the columns. So you'd have 2 columns. So you'd have 2, 2, 2, 2, 2. But adding them all up gives us 10. In our second array, we would have 2 rows of 5. And those added up or multiplied would give us 10. So the arrays would be drawn differently, but the answer is the same. All right, let's move on. Okay, let's see. So let's get thinking. We're learning more about arrays today. Let's look at these charts. What do you see? What have we just been learning about commutative values? So we know that if we were to represent this sum counting rows first and columns second, we would say that it's 2 multiplied by 3, wouldn't we? If we were to turn it, we would then have 3 multiplied by 2. So we can group these charts using the rows or using the columns. If we were to do repeated number addition sentences, we could either say 3 plus 3, or we could say 2 plus 2 plus 2. They both give us the same answers. So that's what we want to understand about arrays. They are commutative. The answer can be gotten by doing the sum in either direction. All right, now let's look at these cakes. So how many rows can you see? Let's count them down together. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. That's right, 5 rows of 2 cakes. So in total, we know we have 10. You need to check. Let's count them. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10. We do have 10. 5 rows of 2 is 10. 5 multiplied by 2 is 10. Or we could say 2 plus 2 plus 2 plus 2 plus 2 equals 10. We've done it using multiplication or repeated addition. Let's look at the other way. Let's imagine we flipped it. Then there would be 2 rows, or we could say there are currently 2 columns of 5 cakes. Both answers are correct. The answer to both sums are 10. So we have seen that arrays are commutative. We can get the answer by doing it by putting either number first. So what exactly is an array? Could you put into words, could you tell me with your words what is an array? So we know array is a picture. It's a set of objects which are arranged in an order, and we use rows and columns to order them. And importantly, remembering back to equal groups, each row and each column must be equal and have the exact same number of objects. All right, so let's look at the top right-hand quadrant, the quadrant labeled number 1. This is our array that we're going to be working with. Have a good look at it. Okay, so in quadrant labeled number 2, the bottom left-hand corner, we've seen, which is how computer programming use it. We always start with rows when computer programming, which is why we say start with rows, even though you can technically do it both ways. So let's look at number 2. It's the easiest way, starting with rows. We have 2 rows. And in each row, there are 6 apples. So as a repeated addition sum, we say 6 plus 6 equals 12. And as a multiplication sum, we say 2 multiplied by 6 equals 12. But we can also look at it the other way because arrays are commutative. All right, let's look at the bottom right-hand quadrant, quadrant labeled number 3. In this instance, we're looking at it columns first, and we have 6 columns and 2 rows. So instead of saying 6 plus 6 equals 12, we can also say 2 plus 2 plus 2 plus 2 plus 2 plus 2 equals 12. Or we can say that 6 multiplied by 2 equals 12. So, do you remember the big word at the beginning? The word that's important for understanding arrays and multiplication? It is commutative. If you've learned a number fact one way, when you flip it, it's the same. If 5 multiplied by 2 equals 10, then 2 multiplied by 5 also equals 10. So boys and girls, your task for today is to investigate arrays, looking at them as both repeated addition sentences and as multiplication sentences. Enjoy!